Welcome back to SBR Forum Videos. I'm Jordan Sharp. The NFC West should be once again a very tough division, and the San Francisco 49ers have their work cut out for them coming into 2015 after a ton of turnover. Their schedule is tough. They lost a ton of defenders, and of course they fired their head coach and brought in a guy with not a lot of head coaching experience. And in the 2015 season, as you're taking a look at their schedule, not only is their divisional schedule tough, but playing the NFC North is not going to be good for them either, as well as the AFC North. Going to be very, very tough for this team to get back above 500 in the 2015 season and make a run at the playoffs. Of course, they lost 3 guys to retirement, all on defense: Chris Borland, Pat Willis, and Justin Smith. All 3 of these guys played huge roles, especially Borland, who filled in for Willis after he got hurt last season. Borland, of course, retiring at a very, very young age, which is really setting this club back. Of course, they're going to really have to rely on some of their early round draft picks to potentially start. As well, they also lost their 2 starting cornerbacks from last season, Culliver and Cox, coming in at 8-1 to win the NFC West division. Going to be very, very tough for this club, and it could start off very, very hard for this club at the beginning of the season, even though they have a home game against Minnesota in week number 1. At Pittsburgh, at Arizona versus Green Bay in weeks 2 through 4 is going to be a very tough 3-week stretch, as well as at New York and versus Baltimore, at home versus Seattle, still all before their bye in week number 9. Now, probably going to lose a little bit on defense, as I mentioned as well. They were the 13th ranked defense overall last season, probably going to drop as well. And even though they lost Michael Crabtree as well and Frank Gore on offense, the offense is probably going to take a step back as well. Really a question mark for this club, I think, is going to be their running game. I'm going to have to rely more on the young running attack. And Colin Kaepernick's going to have to show a lot more than he did in the 2014 season if this team wants any chance of getting above the 500 mark and getting back to the playoffs here this season. The Seattle Seahawks are the huge favorite to win this division, followed by the Arizona Cardinals, who also had some defensive turnover, but not quite as bad as the San Francisco 49ers. But overall, my prediction for this club is probably 7, maybe 8 wins this season, but definitely not any more than that. They have a very, very tough schedule pre-bye, and that could really ruin any chance they want at getting to the playoffs, because they could easily be only 3-5 heading into the Week 9 bye. So even though the San Francisco 49ers aren't going to be steamrolled by many teams this offseason, I still think that they probably need another year or 2 to rebuild to get back to that perennial NFC powerhouse that we've gotten used to seeing here over the last 3 or 4 seasons. But that'll do it for me this time. Make sure you check out some of my other NFC previews coming out. But for SBR Forum Videos, I'm Jordan Sharp.